Hi, I'm Ray and welcome to Gardening Online. Today we're in the garden. We're making the most of this lovely spring weather. But today we're on the 1st of March and we brought our seeds down, so we're going to have a look at what we can sow in March. So let me show you. So the days are getting longer, giving us a bit more light, but we're still got to be careful. Even though the weather's 10-12 degrees, it was 1 degree a couple of days ago and the cars were still frosty, so we've got to be a bit cautious. But there is a few flowers that we can sow during March, and here's a few of them. And we can sow some half-hardy annuals such as cosmos and petunias, and I've did a video of posting petunias and along with some lobelia, so take a look at the video. And also we can do is marigolds. These can be done indoors in the greenhouse, or hollyhocks, and even French marigolds, which will go good for the tomatoes. We're still holding off for the tomatoes, but it won't be long at all. And zinnias can also be done during March. These will all be done inside doors, which need a slight bit of heat to get going, and possibly a greenhouse if we don't get any frost. But direct sowing, we can do some cornflowers. These do not like being transplanted, so cornflowers as well as poppies, they can be done directly into the ground, along with chrysanthemums. That's another one that can be done March, April, May, along with sweet peas. As long as the soil is good and nice and warm, then sweet peas can be direct sown. And also sunflowers. Sunflowers can also be done directly sown, or if there's still a slight chance of frost, do some in some modules and then pot them up. So there's a few that can be direct sown. Also, wildflowers. This is a wildflower collection, and this can just be scattered around to create a wild flower meadow, and that can be done during March. And I look forward to doing this in my own garden. Whilst on the subject of flowers, outdoor bulbs can also be planted, such as gladiolus, lilies, or ranunculus, however you sell it. And also, if you had any flowers that have been grown indoors, forced bulbs, such as daffodils, tete-a-tete, or hyacinths, these can be potted in to a pot, and they can be grown for next spring. And this is an example of one my sister gave me, which was grown indoors last year, and we put it in this pot and we've grown it on for this year. And it's also coming out now, which is really great. So daffodils, hyacinths will give a nice good bloom for next year. So some vegetables that we can sow in the greenhouse or indoors is aubergines. They can still be done. This is early long purple. Peppers can still be done, but they do need a long season. And cucumbers. In the middle of March, towards the end of March, we can really start about thinking of cucumbers. And this one here is market more, and we've got La Diva as well. and I'm also going to do some mini munch. They were really good. And tomatoes. We've been holding off on the tomatoes until March, but it's coming up soon, so we can start some tomatoes. And we might actually start some this weekend on the allotment and plant some in the Charles Dowding seed trays. But this year I'm going to do Moneymaker. I've not done Moneymaker before, and Tigerella. My Tigerella was really good, and I have a video of how to grow tomatoes, and it shows the Tigerella from start to finish, and I'll also add a link for that above. And a new one for me is Crimson Crush, and I believe this is a really good one for doing outdoors, and I'm really keen to get this outdoors. And I built some tomato cages, and I've also got a video for that too, and I'm going to grow these in a tomato cage outdoors, so keep watching and we'll see how that does. And red cherry tomatoes is another one that we can also do. And celery, my celery is still in the ground at the allotment, which really needs to come out. And celeriac, we can do celeriac. These are globular, slightly flattened base. This is giant Prague, so we can do some celeriac. Cauliflowers and most brassicas can be done now in March as it warms up. This is still in the greenhouse, and this is all year round, which can be done all year round. And then not forgetting the salad leaves, Mazuma, rocket, and so we've got loads of salad leaves in the polytunnel. And Brussels sprouts. We've started some Brussels sprouts last weekend, and hopefully they'll be sprouting way soon. And of course lettuce, finally lettuce. These are all seeds that can be done indoors, and now there is a few that we can actually sow outdoors, but just keeping an eye on the temperature. We're on the south coast here, and temperatures are warming up quite a bit, but still got to be careful. And towards mid-March, end of March, some of these can be directly sown into the ground. They can still be done in the greenhouse, but now these can be done directly in the ground. So we've got beetroot, and this is the good old Bolt Hardy. Broad beans, you can still do broad beans, and this is Aquadulce Claudia, and our broad beans are doing really good. Carrots can be done directly in the ground, and that is resistant fly and Royal Chantenay, which are really good. I love the Chantenays in stews, they were really good. Also Swiss chard, this can be done now in March, along with kohlrabi. And our kohlrabis, we had a mixed kohlrabi last year, which was all different colours, different varieties, and it was quite good. But this is just a green delicacy. Now also we can do kales, and I thank you for everybody that sent me advice what to do with kales, making chips and all sorts of things. So we're looking forward to doing that next year. And cabbage, a good old cabbage, especially an autumn cabbage. This one is April, and it can be sown March, April, May. And Savoy cabbages, so they can be done also. So that is all the seeds that we can do directly in the ground. But we can also do the onions, shallots, sticks, as well as garlics. They can still go in the ground during March, so that would be great. And towards the end of March we can sort out those potatoes, so anybody that's got chitting potatoes, they can start going in the ground towards the end of March, beginning of April. Or if you've got them in buckets, they can be done in buckets and left in the polytunnel in the greenhouse. So that's a good consideration too. So I hope that helps. And we've got lots of seeds to just choose from, and we're going to sow a few now. So I'll leave you with it, and let me know in the comments what you're sowing, and if you're sowing any of these, and let me know what you're sowing. That would be great. If you're new to my channel, then please subscribe and ring that bell, get notifications when I post some more. And we look forward to seeing what grows in March. So, thank you very much. Cheers.